Hello, and welcome to Group 6's Project 2 for Tech 443, Distance-Based Lifelong Learning, presented by Annalise Wagner, Paul Russell, Paige Nelson, and Trevor Majors.
Throughout this presentation, we will be discussing where online education comes from, what the demand is in Alaska for distance-based learning, what local options there are, the costs, the technological requirements, steps taken to address the future needs of the state, the leadership style required to accomplish this, an implementation plan, any objections to the plan, and why we believe our listeners will take action. I hope you enjoy it.
In our research, we found that the need for an advanced degree is almost paramount to career success in the current work environment. Students of all ages and backgrounds are seeking flexible education alternatives that will allow them to accomplish their goals while still maintaining a balance between their work and family lives. To meet this demand, online education programs are being developed by traditional universities and by exclusively online universities across the country. In Alaska, there are distinct challenges that the lifelong learner faces when it comes to continued education. With a good share of the population being spread out in remote villages and many jobs requiring travel or work away from home, distance-based learning is a great way for everyone to have a chance to get the education they desire without having to sacrifice relocating or quitting their current job. Distance-based learning can be a vital tool in improving the existing and future workforces of Alaska. Just this past November, there were 542 job postings requiring at least an associate's degree, 636 requiring at least a bachelor's degree, and 373 positions requiring a master's degree or higher in the state of Alaska. With a majority of jobs requiring higher education degrees, distance-based learning provides a way for everyone across the state to get the education they need in order to obtain these jobs.
The main online program offered in Alaska is developed through the University of Alaska system. Because Alaska has quite a few unique industry needs that require site-specific training, the University of Alaska offers programs tailored to the specific needs of that region. With campuses in Anchorage, Fairbanks, Valdez, Soldotna, Kodiak, Matsu, Juneau, Sitka, Ketchikan, and many more satellite locations, the University of Alaska system provides over 500 different degree options. Additional programs like Ilisagvik College in Barrow, the Avtech Technical College in Seward, and a number of other technical programs around the state that offer more specific training like welding, nursing, heavy equipment mechanic and operating, and industrial electricity that are custom made for Alaskan jobs and occupations. The cost of these online programs can vary widely. The UA system has a typical yearly tuition rate of $5,000 with variances for course load and technology fees. Private online institutions can range up to $30,000 a year. This is not considering the cost of books and other necessary hardware needed. One of the largest barriers to lifelong learning in Alaska is adequate internet access. With online classes, it is very important that you have reliable internet, which can be a problem for some rural villages or work locations. Another thing to consider is that you have a computer that is capable of running the programs and streaming the dynamic online content.
When evaluating these findings, we find that the officials in the state understand and are attempting to address the needs for greater coordination among the different sites, delivering distance education courses and training for these facilities in a more consistent manner. University of Alaska recently released they are growing their e-learning program due to demand for smaller, more distant communities. The Facility Technology Center at UAA is working with the Facility Senate to co-sponsor a technology symposium for 45 faculty members on February 17th. Because electronic learning contributed to 75% of growth at the UAA academic year and is projected to continue to keep growing at these rates. In order to address the difficulties of developing and applying new distance-based learning opportunities, a leader will have to possess adaptive and servant leadership qualities. Some of the issues and solutions raised are well defined or outside of the hands of educators, such as the expansion and implementation of the internet infrastructure, especially in the small rural villages located around the state. It is very important to find the best way to deliver distance-based education classes. Because of this, an adaptive leader would be a great leader to take control. With achievement, innovation, and change sought after by the leader, distance-based learning will be continually adaptive and implemented in the growing world. Another large roadblock faced is teacher retention. With the expansion of online education, new instructors will need to be added to help with the influx of students. With this influx, it is important to provide educators with an environment that will help them grow and succeed. By giving teachers the resources and support, they will be improving the organization's performance. Also, with the increase of job satisfaction, teacher retention rates will also increase.
The demand for distance education is already largely recognized and expansion is already being pursued. One way to implement change in support for the educators would be to start an online educators association, where online educators could discuss their experiences, problems encountered, programs that worked, etc., that would help develop new programs across the country. Cooperation between educators would help to increase teacher retention and would provide smaller programs innovative ideas to incorporate into their growing programs. One of the only issues we have found is that this program is not compulsory. But because a majority of teachers pursue the profession because they genuinely want to teach, we think it would be easy to get teachers to join. With a little advertising, the Online Educators Association would be a great resource for all teachers involved. Distance-based education could be a huge contributor to the future of Alaska's higher education and job advancement. With continued development and new programs being added, more and more Alaskans will find it easier and more convenient to get the education they desire. With only a few hurdles to overcome, the innovation of an adaptive leader and the support of a servant leader, Alaskan residents can expand and open up many new opportunities around the state.